Hey, it's Dave again, Dave and the guys, and I know I didn't get a video out last week, and we've been awfully busy, and we're getting ready to leave for a trip in the morning. Going to ride from here in northeast Arkansas, go through Oklahoma, North Texas, into Colorado, go north into from Trinidad, Durango, Silverton, Ouray, into Wyoming, into Montana, back through Sturgis. It's going to be a pretty good ride. We've been really busy getting ready for that, so yeah, it's going to be a pretty good ride. And but there's been a couple things come up this week I'd like to discuss, share my opinions, my thoughts. I know opinions are like a lot of other things. Everybody's got one, and everybody thinks everybody else stinks. But anyway, one of the big things this week in the news is Harley Davidson dropped a new motorcycle, the Harley Davidson Deadwood. And I know that there's been a lot of opinions on it. I've watched it. Like many of you, I have not actually seen one, sat on one, rode one. I did, like a lot of people across America, it's starting to make it to the stores. I personally think it's a beautiful bike. There's lots of things about it. It's been, a lot of people say, well, it's just a Heritage with no bags or no back seat. And that's kind of true. A lot of people really like it, think it's really sharp, it's really great. They don't expect it to ride any better than a Heritage, but unless you've rode a Heritage 2024 or newer, you really don't know what they're like. They ride a lot different than the older ones. I had a 24, and yes, when I got home with it, I pulled the windshield off and rode without a windshield. I like riding without a windshield. And then later I took the back seat off and did take the saddlebags off. The bike looked really sharp. Put a leather handlebar bag on to keep my insurance registration things in. And yeah, I got a lot of compliments. It was the red rock and black. The color of 24 was the red rock and black. And it really looked sharp, all stripped down. And I find that there are a lot of people doing that with a Heritage. You see a lot of them on social media. You see them at used bike markets and dealerships. There's a lot of people that have taken them off. They like the slim look. Well, the difference between that and a Softail Slim basically is the fender. It still has a longer fenders on it. Softail Slim has bob down fenders. But yeah, I think it's a very beautiful bike. A lot of people talk about it being, they've taken one bike and changed it a little. Well, technically that's been a Harley Davidson thing for several years. Willie G Davidson was famous for that. He took in 1971, took an FLH, designed it with the Sportster front forks and created the Super Glide. It was an excellent motorcycle. In 1977, he came up with a smaller frame for it and for the Super Glide and called it a lowrider. Also in 1977, he took a Sportster with the Ironhead motor and came up with the XRCO, the Cafe Racer, the 1977 XLCR was what it was called, the XLCR Cafe Racer. And yeah, it wasn't on the market for a lot of years. It's very beautiful, but if you look at the Nightster 975, it looks a whole lot like, if you set it side by side, in our local dealership, they had a XLCR, and the Nightster 975 looked a lot like the XLCR. They were very similar in size, shape, seating position, tank, everything. Looked a whole lot like it. So that's not taking a bike that you already have and changing it just a little has been a long time thing for Harley Davidson. And then if you'll remember, if you paid attention, in 2006, Harley Davidson presented another concept of factory custom that Willie G Davidson was noticing people were doing, and taking the Ultra Classic or the Electra Glide, taking the tour pack off of it, taking the extra lights off it, lowering the back end, making it a little sleek, a little sportier in the bagger era still had the saddlebags on it, still had the front fairing, but a lot of the other stuff taken off, the lower fairings taken off. And so in 2006, they introduced that into the market as the Street Glide. And so if anybody's trying to sell you a 2004 Street Glide, now you know there was not a Street Glide before 2006. But that was been one of the greatest sellers in Harley-Davidson history. And it was, as people say, well, that's no more than stripping down another bike. Well, that's what the Street Glide is. And in 1980, they produced a bike that was a custom bike, factory custom bike, because so many people were customizing bikes, and he copied a lot of the customization. It was a factory custom bike, the first all blacked out Harley-Davidson with orange trim, the 1980 FXB Sturgis. And yes, that was a copy of what people were already customizing. Just like the Deadwood is a copy of what people are already customizing. And if it's popular and it sells, that's great for the business. I'm impressed they're selling it at the price they are at $18,000. I think that's pretty good. But that's just my opinions on it. Like I said, I like riding a Heritage without all the extras on it. I really enjoyed it. Mine was great. I have since traded it for a 26 Street Glide. And I really enjoy the Street Glide. And once again, if you haven't ridden one 24 or newer, you really don't know what you're missing, because they handle well, they lean well. I was always accustomed on the bigger bikes. I've had several Road Kings. I've had a Road Glide, always scratching the peg or the floorboards riding here in Arkansas in the tight roads, regularly grinding down the floorboards. And on this Street Glide, the new Street Glide, I can lean it really hard, and I have yet to scratch the floorboards. It's got really great ground clearance, rides really smooth. So if you haven't tried a 24 or newer in the big bikes or even the Heritage, I highly recommend get a test ride. I think you'll really enjoy it. Another big thing I wanted to talk about, I watched a video the other day about, and it was, I'll be honest, it was a content creator by the name of Yami Noob, and some of you may be familiar with him, some of you may not like him. I like his channel. He has a lot of facts. He deals in facts. Yes, I don't like everything he says, but sadly enough, he deals in facts. But he's a sport bike adventure kind of guy, and that's fine. If that's what you like to ride, that's great. I'm all for that. I think everybody ought to ride the bike they want. But what he said was 67% of the motorcyclists in America don't like Harley-Davidson. Well, technically, he's got a point. Only 33% of the motorcycles on the highway, registered motorcycles being ridden, are Harley-Davidson, 33%. The other 67% are the other brands, however many other brands there are, but 67% are other brands from Harley-Davidson. But when you get to thinking about that, that sounds like, oh, that's a really low number. But that's 1 in 3, all from the same company. You have a Honda, Kawasaki, Harley-Davidson, 1 in 3. Yamaha, Suzuki, Harley-Davidson. BMW, Triumph, Harley-Davidson. Royal Enfield, CF Moto, and a Harley-Davidson. Every group of 3, one of them is a Harley-Davidson. So really, for one manufacturer to have 1 in 3 of every motorcycle on the road today is pretty impressive. So, and I think it's a good thing. So really, Harley-Davidson is and as far as the hate on Harleys, I don't understand that, because I really don't hate any kind of bike. I like them all. I consider myself a motorcycle enthusiast. I like them all. I think they're all great. But it's all in what you like to do. I would love to ride a sport bike, but I'm old. I've had lots of injuries over the years, and I can't fold up and fit on one. I think that would be a blast to ride, but I just can't fold up and fit on one. I have trouble with some of even the Harleys with the mid-controls, getting my legs and hips to bend to fit it. So, that's part of it. That's why I ride a big, comfortable bike, because I ride a lot of miles in a day. We routinely do a 500-mile ride in a day, 300 miles, whatever. That's a normal thing for us. Like I said, tomorrow morning we're starting out on a 3,500 mile ride. And yeah, and that's good. It's all in what you like to ride. If you're comfortable on a bike, if you like that bike, if you love, if that's the style of riding you do, that's what you should do. As long as you're out enjoying life, I don't care if it's playing golf, playing basketball, running, riding motorcycles, riding a bicycle, bowling, whatever it is you like to do, I think you should be out doing it. And that's my opinion on the different styles of motorcycles. I think everybody has their choice in it, and whatever makes them happy, that's what they should be doing. And like I said over and over again, we'll ride with whoever, whatever they ride, as long as you're not a jerk. And one other thing I would like to mention, I would like to give a shout out to Osmond Harley Davidson. I noticed on social media today they had somebody come in the store with a motorized wheelchair. A young lady come in, and she had been looking all over to find somebody to put mirrors on her motorized wheelchair. And they took it into the shop, and one of the techs in the shop found a way to put mirrors on her motorized wheelchair. They didn't say no. And the owner made the statement when they presented that to her with mirrors on her wheelchair, that at Osmond Harley Davidson, we don't say no. Bring it in, we'll take care of it. And so I would like to throw a shout out to Jeremy Osmond and staff, all the staff at Osmond Harley Davidson, especially the tech that rigged up the mirrors on a wheelchair. That was great. Okay, so anyway, that's all I really wanted to talk about. My opinions. I think the Deadwood, the blacked out Deadwood with the orange trim, I think that's going to be a beautiful bike. I think it'll be a good seller. I think a lot of people will like it. And I think whatever bike it is that you like to ride, that's the one you need to be on, whatever it is. And I'll ride with you on my big, loud, heavy, if you want to call it overpriced Harley Davidson, and we'll have a good time. So for Dave and the guys, I'm Dave. And I'll be throwing some content at you along the line. I'm not sure how much, how long. Pictures, we'll get a lot of treats. We'll have to try to get some good footage of the mountains. So y'all take it easy, have a good time, and be safe.